Hey, it's Aaron, the Metal Theologian, and yeah, it's weird. Spencer's helped me out with this one because this is kind of a big event. We're gonna do the 2020 vinyl tag. It's kind of been a long time coming. You know, I'm kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. John Bip Bop Boom, he was on top of it, man. He did it like months before anyone else. But yeah, we got the questions here. I pulled out some records. We're gonna talk this shit through. And while we're talking this shit through, actually, we're gonna enjoy a little bit of Iron Brew. Spencer's helping me out here. We actually had 2 of these, but I talked about this once before, like a long time ago, but it's been a long time and nobody watches old videos, so what the fuck, I can drink the same one twice. If you haven't seen the ad campaign, Iron Brew, like look for Iron Brew ads on YouTube. Because in a way, that says more than anything I can really say here right now. But this is supposed to be sort of like an energy drink or something like that. Sort of, though it's not like a Red Bull, it's just like, you know, it's more like a Dr. Enough. So, what do you think it tastes like?
I think it's good.
I think it's a little bit bubblegummy.
Yeah, I was about to say that's probably what it's like the aftertaste of bubblegum.
It smells like bubblegum more than it tastes like bubblegum. And there's something else in there. It's like bubblegum cut with something.
I think it tastes like bubblegum too, but yeah, it's not entirely that.
Like maybe bubblegum with a little balsamic vinegar in it. Because like it's not cider vinegar, because that'd be really unpleasant. But like balsamic might be kind of nice, you know?
I don't think it's balsamic though.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's balsamic. I was just kidding about that part. There's no dietary fiber in here. You should probably know that. It says so on the side. Yeah, this is good stuff. It's very lightly carbonated. It's tasty. I mean, it's honestly, it's not the greatest thing ever. I also have heard that Iron Brew isn't really Iron Brew unless it's in a can. So if you're watching this from Scotland, mea culpa. All right, so what's our first question for our vinyl tag here? 20 questions, 20 dumb questions. Although, this is the best group of questions I've ever seen before. They're not as corny as like, what's your favorite Led Zeppelin record? You know, or like, what's your favorite Beatles record? Like, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Who needs that?
All right, number 1 is the Sexiest album cover.
All right, Sexiest album cover. So this is hard. A few of these I kind of copped out, but I figure y'all don't have anything else to do because you're stuck at home with the pandemic, same as I am. So fuck it. If it turns out long, it turns out long. So I don't know. This was a candidate. Von Elmo. Make sure I'm centering these right, okay? Because I can't see, but yeah, because that's some like very fine looking gentleman there, right? And you know, there's nothing like futuristic sexiness. Although that's maybe more sort of conceptual sexiness than the more sort of visceral sexiness you get with something like this by Incredible Hog. But the winner was Domingo Samudio. Right there. Because first of all, look at that goatee. Second of all, look at that face he's making. You know what he's thinking about. And third of all, you see how that thing stands straight up? You know that means one thing. You know what they say, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, but sometimes it's a cock. So, what's next? That's the Sexiest one.
Next is the Scariest album cover.
Actually, this guy, look at the, before we move on, check out this fucking weenie right there. Right on. Awesome. All right, I'm sorry, what was it? Scariest?
Yeah.
Okay, there were a couple good candidates here too. So, yeah, just for what it is, this was actually probably the first one that came to mind. Spiro Agnew Speaks. My favorite titles on this one are Challenge to the Hippies, Effete Core of Impudent Snobs, and some examples of the Vice President's wit. I've actually never played this because I'm not sure if I could handle it. But anyway, that one scares the bejesus out of me. This one, when I was a kid and I first saw this, it really kind of scared me a little bit. All right, now this isn't, you know, we've all seen this record 1,000 times, I hope. One of my favorite records ever, right? But that, and then fucking this, and it's called Maggot Brain, that tripped me out. And then when I actually got a copy with a gatefold, and there's that big fucking picture with the maggot there, and then this weird rant about fear from like the Church of the Final Judgment, which is already kind of creepy if you read this, but then if you like look at who the Church of the Process Church was, it's only fucking creepier. And yeah, but this is a fucking tremendous record. And you know, since that's for a long time ago, I don't know, I kept looking after I found that one, let's just say. So I kind of went for this old standby here too. Goat's Head Soup, a common one. Yeah, I have some of these too, right? But not so much because of that as because of, and you know what's coming right now, the actual Goat's Head Soup. It's another one that kind of wigged me out when I was a kid, you know? It's fucking fantastic though. Like, how cool is that? My favorite thing has always been that big fucking carrot sticking out right there. But as I kept going, I think I found the one that's like truly fucking frightening, and I'm kind of warning you right now because it's a scary ass cover. Okay, this is the scariest one. Here it is. Look at that. I can't even take it anymore. Jesus Christ. What's the next question?
A cool center label.
Okay, yeah, I really only have one candidate for this one. Lots of cool center labels. But if there's one that's just absolutely the ultimate center label for me, it's that one right there. When I got this record, I used to sit there and just watch it go around in circles because it's so awesome. The fucking Crimson Ghost, just doing that. And that's all. I would just sit there and listen to the whole side of the record, just fucking watching him go around and around. So that's my pick for a fucking center label. God, this inner's so old, it's funny. Great record too. I don't have a lot of punk anymore, but these Misfits records have come with me to my grave. All right, so what's the next question?
An album Bobby Gass would like that you don't like.
Okay. This is actually a little bit hard because Bobby Gass has really wider ranging tastes than you think. It's like, you know, he has like his doo-wop 45s and all that shit, you know, and that's totally his thing. But then he'll come around and like start geeking out over like, I don't know, the Sex Pistols or something like that, and, you know. So the first one I thought of was actually this one, Jimmy Rushing. First of all, note how awesome he looks, okay? Because it's actually kind of tremendous. And this really is kind of cheesy, like kind of more cheesy. It's like Jimmy Rushing and his orchestra, and you know, this whole like strings, like earlier style of jazz just isn't really for me. Even though I really do like the song It's a Sin to Tell a Lie. But I think the better choice is actually this one. And that's Reiko Ike right here. Because this is just like, I mean, you might know who she is. She's like, you know, known from like her Pink Eiga movies in Japan. Sort of like soft erotic shit. And it's sort of like sexy songs, I guess. Truthfully, I didn't realize that I pulled this out. But, you know, as you see, I got it 50% off. I never even cracked the fucking thing, so. I've sampled through it like online. It's kind of, you know, it's not really my thing. Kind of got it more for sort of what it is and for the fact that it was fucking cheap. But I'll bet Bobby Gass would dig this record. Because I'll bet Bobby Gass would find something to really enjoy with like the little like, you know, sexy ballads with sort of the breathy vocals. Assuming that's what it even sounds like because I don't fucking remember. It's been too long. But Bobby Gass, Reiko Ike.
A soundtrack or compilation?
Okay, I actually have almost no soundtracks. So that leaves me with a compilation. I figured I'd pull out one worth looking at. I don't think a lot of people probably have this one. Kent Rocks. This is a local sampler from Kent. It has Demon Pact and Renegade and Dervish and Legend, and it's kind of one of the more sought after new wave British heavy metal comps, even though it's only about half metal. Most of the other half is interesting too, but I don't want to talk about it too much because I actually might do a video just talking about this record, so we'll see if that ever comes to fruition. But Kent rocks, everybody. What's next?
An album with someone wearing a diaper, loincloth, or underwear.
Okay, the obvious one is New York '84 comp that Bip Bop Boom showed. I don't know if I have any other ones with diapers on it. So I spent a little time thinking about this, and I figure a fucking cod piece counts. And in fact, this is really a pretty good candidate for Sexiest album cover too. No, I'm kind of kidding about that. But there you go, man. It's not only a cod piece, it's a fucking close-up, so. Look at it, you can see his fucking leg hair through his nylons because it's so, like, shitty, like, you know. In an awesome way, of course, right? She got this at a record show in San Francisco, God, 20 years ago. I think it cost me $5. Maybe it was only $3. All right, what's next?
Favorite album of 2019.
All right, well, that's actually easy. We're listening to it right now. That's going to be this one. Soul Grinder. As far as something I played the shit out of and like just enjoyed, and like they did a live show a couple months ago from their basement right when this COVID shit was starting. The t-shirt designs rule. Yeah, Soul Grinder is just a fucking fantastic band. So I got turned on to this by a VC member. That's a later question. I have another one, but it was Mr. High Rant District, Mr. Tom, who turned me onto this thing by just sending me a fucking copy of this local Portland band. And goddamn if it isn't fantastic. So this is my record of 2019. If you're watching this, you really need a copy of this. Unless you're watching for the jazz, in which case you might not like this video much anyway.
Favorite Ramones album.
I got cheated on this one because I don't really like the Ramones particularly. So my favorite Ramones album is probably Rocket to Russia, okay? But I don't actually even own any anymore. What I do have is this Ramon Morris record. Sweet Sister Funk. And this is a really like cool, like funky jazz record. It's on the Groove Merchant label, so that gives you a pretty good idea right there as far as, you know, the groove and shit like that. And yeah, it's just a really cool, it's just a cool record. I actually haven't played it in a while, but you know, it has the electric piano, like that sort of 70s like keyboard sound with it, and the saxes, and it's just an awesome record, man. Probably gonna play it again in a little bit. It's really cool. So that's my favorite Ramones record.
An autographed album.
Okay. Another one with multiple candidates. This first one I just showed the other day. The Grand Bite record from Venezuela. This is the only record I have that has a dedication in Spanish. So that's kind of special as far as I'm concerned. You know, you see autographed records around, but you don't see a lot of Spanish dedications in the U.S. This was a candidate because I just kind of came across this, and this has signatures from 4 of the band members in ballpoint pen that I didn't really even notice until I got the record home when I bought it at Chris's Warped Records in Lakewood in 1989, maybe? Something like that. Anyway, it's kind of hard to, but here's the thing, man. Flip this. The thing is, there was really only one choice. And that's this one right here. That's Crocus. And you know why? Because it's Crocus. So check that. Look, it's all like shitty and like smeared. That one's even worse. And I can't read any of these. I don't know who these fucking guys are, so I'll probably never figure it out. But man, you can't argue with that. I mean, it's Crocus. What's not to like about Crocus? Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to leave that one right there. Crocus is the answer. What's next?
Most beat album.
Okay. So that's probably going to be this Roots Radix record at Channel 1, Kingston, Jamaica. It's actually a really cool record. It's on the Clock Tower label. It's kind of been reissued a couple times. And this one's on the School Vinyl. But that's my most beat record.
Alright.
What's
An
next?
album with a felon.
This one I almost felt a little bit like I was cheating with, but Phil Rudd, man. Because, you know, you can beat up your girlfriend, you can, like, get into a fight with a cop, you can, like, get busted for all this other shit, but fucking crystal meth when you're from AC/DC, like, any self-respecting band would have gotten busted for coke. But no, not Phil Rudd. He goes crystal meth, the poor man's coke. So, yeah, dude, it's not really a good way to, like, own your success. I don't even know what to say, man. It's like, he kind of gets props for just like, if he's gonna go shady, he goes fucking shady, man. If you ever seen Phil Rudd, like what he looked like when they were busting him in, like, I think it was New Zealand, like right after two, he looked like a fucking monster, dude. He looked like Bobby Liebling. Alright.
An album with 3 or more dead members.
This was a hard one for me too, and this is kind of a cop-out, but with Jimmy Cobb just having died, this one right here, man, this one actually now has no surviving members on it. Miles Davis died in the early 90s, Cannonball Adderley in the 70s, John Coltrane obviously died in 67, same year as Joe Meek and Otis Redding. Wynton Kelly, I don't know about actually, but Bill Evans died in the 70s from drugs that he bought from Phil Rudd. And Paul Chambers went at some point too, so yeah, kind of blue actually.
An album you like that Bobby Yass won't.
Okay, I got two here. Okay, and that's because it's kind of two different ends of the spectrum. Okay, this is kind of an easy one. This is this is actually black metal. I don't talk about black metal very much, but I do really still like this Black Legions shit, which is just basically like the most like sort of type of like, you know, shit recorded in your basement, super shitty sounding, barely even music kind of stuff. This is Belketra and Vlad Tepes on this one, and they're probably more musical. Probably my favorite of these groups is Vagzarjavtre, because that's just like boom, 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 boom. But I think that might be a little much for Bobby Gass. I think this one likewise would probably be a little bit much for Bobby Gass, so that's one. The other one I picked out is, I don't know if Bobby Gass would particularly appreciate Negative Land, because this is really just kind of tape collage shit. And yeah, this has like the cool like poster and all the inserts and the sticker, and you know, most of these came with lawn clippings, but if you got the winter edition, you got the special mulch right there. So yeah, and mine was inspected by David, who might be dead actually. One of these guys died not too long ago. I think it was David, the weatherman. So now that I'm thinking about it, it's only one member, but more dead people. By the way, in the liner notes, they ask you to note how nicely the bumper sticker makes an N shape with the fold-over cover. So I just want to bring y'all's attention to that as well. There's a Big 10-8 Place, which is probably Negative Land's least listenable record, but if you dig this early Negative Land shit, it's a fantastic album. And it might have been my, it wasn't my first, I think it was my second after Escape from Noise that I picked up, so. I actually saw Negative Land live once when I was still in Cleveland in like 93, 94, somewhere thereabouts. It's a weird ass show, man.
A funny album that makes you laugh.
Okay, that was actually kind of easy because this fucking Holy Right just wins. I mean, look at that. If that doesn't make you laugh, you're either, if this doesn't make you laugh, either you have no sense of humor or you're one of those Christians. Because when it comes to Jesus metal, that guy is fucking funny. These guys are all fucking funny. And some of these song titles are all about lies and Satan. It's like there's Satan's Lies, which just pulls it all together. And there's Satan, Leave That Boy Alone, which is my favorite song. Satan, leave that boy alone. Their words are in there too, so you can like sing the shit. And then Lies of Men. This is not a great record. It's an enjoyable record. It is super fucking corny though. Like the little intro and outro about standing as one is fucking. Well, it's a lot of fun, man. And you know something? I bought this on the strength of the cover. And I pretty much got what I paid for. It wasn't expensive. I got this for maybe, I think it was $14 when I was living in LA. But I was like, I looked at this and went, oh my God. And then I got it home and I put it on and I said, oh my God. Great record. Well, 6 out of 10 really. But as far as one that makes me laugh, dude, how about this fucking kid right here? He looks like he was in, what was that fucking movie about the gang fights? The Warriors? Is that the one I'm thinking of? He totally looks like one of the actors from that. It kind of bothers me, in fact, even a little bit. All right. What's next?
An album you bought because of a VC member.
Okay, I've already shown a few. I showed some in just the last video that I made too, but the one I think I want to highlight is actually this one. Because this one was actually given to me by Mr. Mikey Bananas, Grown Man Record Night. And this is one that I know shit would not have heard of and maybe wouldn't have ever come across without his influence. It's kind of a jazz record. I mean, ostensibly it's a jazz record, but it's pretty much just drums. But it's awesome. It kind of swings. It's interesting. It keeps your attention. And the fact is, that's not all that common with just drum records, you know. But it's a local press from Greensboro, North Carolina. I bet it has a cool private press label too that I don't remember. So let's take a look. Yeah, look at that, man. If you watch this channel, you know that I eat that shit up. You know, I mean that's the kind of shit that gets my juices flowing. So very much appreciation to Mr. Bananas, but also very much appreciation to Scott Waters and Greeno and LJ and Stavros, Spinning Greek, and Helmut Diggy, and everyone else who's ever fucking recommended the record that I bought, because there are a lot of you out there.
A VC channel you wish would come back.
Okay, I just named a couple. Okay, so, I do miss LJ's channel. He and Greeno, even more Greeno, really kind of key as far as my starting to make videos. So those are ones I would very much like to see come back. But, another one that I haven't heard as much in these things is Spud Boy's channel. But that was a really special channel, too. Guess I'm Just a Spud Boy. And when he hung it up, he took down all his videos, too, and deleted his user even. So it's kind of disappointing. There's actually an old video of mine, it's probably 3-4 years old now, but I was talking about metal bands from Canada, and I called it It Came From Canada, and that was actually a tip of the hat to Bobby Gass, because not Bobby Gass, I'm sorry, he's also Canadian, but Spud Boy had a series that he would do called It Came From Canada, and so I ripped that off as sort of a little tribute to him, but now that he's gone, the joke doesn't really make any sense, so that's just the title of the video, I guess. So, yeah, Mr. Spud Boy. I've been trying to think. As soon as we turn this off, I'll think of 10 more, but channels kind of come and go.
An album with nudity on the cover.
I got a good one for you here. Because it occurred to me that the person I should want to reach for if I'm looking for a good record with nudity on the cover would be Booby Night. You know something? This would be a fucking tremendous album cover if you took the nudity off. Just take that in for a minute. It's so good. Look, he even has this fucking like custom like BK because he's the Burger King. I mean Booby Night. Look at that. It's fucking carrying the fucking flag, which looks more like panties on the end of that, maybe. Not really, but I thought that would be a funny thing to say. Look at how many guys are in the band, too. All right, anyway. Yeah, there we go. I think that was a pretty good one. Actually, this maybe should have been Sexiest album cover. Oh, well.
An album with a cowboy on the cover.
This one was actually pretty easy for me, too. It's one of my favorite Sonny Rollins records right here, Way Out West. And there he is. Holding a sax instead of a gun, but it's fucking Sonny Rollins dressed up like a cowboy and making a fucking fantastic record, man. It's just a 3-piece on this one. It's him and a bass and drums. Ray Brown and Shelly Manne. Because he was way out west, and Shelly Manne was a West Coast drummer, obviously. I don't know Ray Brown so much, but anyway, point is, it's really spare. There's a lot of space in it. I actually hyped this a long time ago as a record to get into if you're new to jazz, something to check out if you want to be challenged, you know. And yeah, I'll stand by it. It's a fucking fantastic record.
An album with a motorcycle on the cover.
Yeah, this was a little bit lame. I actually don't have that many that aren't obvious. I mean, there's that great picture of Mantis on the back of Black Metal by Venom. And of course, there's the Grim Reaper, the second round one, Fear No Evil. But yeah, I went with this one because I figure fewer people probably have it. I think the cover is probably drawn by this guy. Probably not, actually. It was probably his friend or his brother. But, yeah. Oh, and by the way, I gotta call attention to the mustache. All right. So, yes, that's a motorcycle. It's not the greatest motorcycle ever, but it is what it is. It's fine. It counts.
A VC channel you wish would go away.
Yeah, all right. I know a couple people didn't touch this one, but I will. You know, it's really a type of channel that bugs me, and it's the channels where they're done like their goal is to be big YouTube channels. It's all about the SEO optimization. It's all about the eye-catching thumbnails, and I hate that shit. I really do. When you fucking turn on the video and they spend half the thing telling you to like and subscribe, and then if you leave them a comment when they don't respond to it, I actually have a rule called the LJ rule, because I got this from Mr. LJ, Biosite1, whose channel I was also kind of pining for. If he left you a comment on your channel, I don't know how many strikes he gave you. If he commented on your channel and you didn't give him like a decent response, like a response and not just like LOL yeah, but like something a little bit thoughtful, he'd unsubscribe. And I kind of have that rule too. If I'm going to take the trouble to sit there and write a little comment, then, you know, you can take the trouble to respond to me, because you know something? With your fucking 1,800 subscribers, you're not too busy to fucking do it. You're just too fucking lazy, or you're too full of yourself. You know, if you're Anthony Fantano, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? So what I really hear are these channels like fucking Vinylize or Too Many Records. You know, there are some other ones. These people, it's nothing against them personally, really, but I just frankly don't respect their channels at all, because they just look like it's about SEO, it's about monetization, and it's frankly about condescending to people who don't know anything. You want to know one good, very strong indicator as to whether a channel's any good or not? How much they use the word vinyl. If every time they say records, they say vinyl records, they're probably fucking amateurs. In fact, they are fucking amateurs, because you know something? I'm a little older, and we didn't call them vinyl records back then. They're just fucking records. You know, we don't say, oh, I'm going to go to the vinyl record store and get some vinyl records, and then bring them home and put them on my vinyl record player. That's just not how you fucking talk. You know what I mean? If you talk like that, you're a chode, or an asshole, or both. Yeah. So fuck those guys. It really kind of makes me sick, that shit. But here's the other thing. They're not really part of the vinyl community. Because that's what's the second thing. They're going off, they want to be Fantano or whatever. Except probably not work as hard as Fantano, because he works his ass off. And, you know something, they can fuck off. They can go and play that fucking game. You know, and they can go along with all the gaming channels that I also ignore, you know. The fucking toy channels, because it's the same kind of shit. There's no depth, there's no like appreciation for music. It's just like, hey guys, let me give you some tips on not about putting your fingers on the records, or some shit like that. Or, hey guys, did you know that you need a needle for your record player, for your vinyl records to play? You know, fuck that shit. You know, who needs that shit? Hey guys, I came up with a new way of putting my records on the wall. Check out these grails I have hanging here in these frames that I built. I have my whole record collection, these 8 frames. I have my whole vinyl record collection, these 8 frames over here. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Why would you watch a fucking channel like that? You know, I don't need to be condescended to by a fucking 20-year-old little piece of shit who doesn't know anything and has a shitty collection and can go to hell. Yeah, man, fuck all that shit. Yeah, okay. So that's actually 2 specific channels I'd be happy to see go away, although frankly it'd be a while before I noticed. And I'll tell you something, there are others. And some of them are close enough to like the circle of people who actually do this that I don't necessarily want to be shitting on them. But these guys who have gotten like a modicum of success with it, I'm punching up so they can fuck off. They suck anyway, man. If you're into music, you don't watch it finalize. You know what I mean? Fuck. If you're into music, you fucking stick fucking Q-tips in your ears rather than looking finalized. Fucking chode. And that fucking Too Many Records guy, man. Fucking asshole has his girlfriend on. He like brings his hot girlfriend on and makes some videos. So of course he gets a whole shit ton of subs, right? When his channel's called Damn It Sandy. Then his girlfriend takes off. I hope she dumped him. I don't know. And now he's like, too many records. I have too many records. Oh, oh. It's like, fuck you, man, you know? For all I know, he's the greatest guy in the world personally, but I'll tell you something, I don't respect his channel. Fucking gimmick, fucking, oh yeah, and again, look at the thumbnails, every single one, vinyl records, vinyl records, vinyl records, vinyl records. Yeah, you started collecting 2 weeks ago, you dumbass. Fuck you. That was the last question, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. How long was this video?
32 minutes.
Oh, we got there faster than I thought. Yeah, I thought this would take forever, but whatever. It was a fun one to make. So there we go. Vinyl Tag 2020. 20 questions for 2020. See you next time.